Martinsville Speedway is the home of stop number 32 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series, as we're set for the running of the Tums Fast Relief 500s. We're set for 75 laps of action on this .526 mile oval, or should we say paperclip shaped oval is what we're thinking about here. After a awesome race we had at Talladega Super Speedway, which saw the championship points battle extended to 178 points between the first and second place drivers. There's still 4 races to go after this, so we'll see what happens over those 4 races. So with all that said, let's get to the starting line for today's running event. On the pole in a number 30 Country Time Pontiac, it's Charles Samper, 4-time winner this season so far on the Castrol GTX Cup Series. Winner this season at Atlanta, Las Vegas, the road course at Riverside, and at the second race at Pocono. He'll be alongside Kyle Langland, car 27, the Kodiak Pontiac. He's alongside, still looking for that first win. Second row will have Phil Parker, number 5, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet. He's been to a win, just looking for a place to happen. Maybe today, we'll find out here. He'll be alongside Seth Cole, 52, the Folgers Chevrolet. He's on the outside. He won at Charlotte this season. Third row has Ryan George, car 17, the Tide Chevrolet. And beside him, the number 2 Pepsi Kroger Chevrolet of Dylan Young, the winner of the night race at Bristol this season. Fourth row will have William Brock, number 4, the Kodak Film Oldsmobile, and Kyle Matthews, number 29, the Hardee's Oldsmobile. He won the season at North Wilkesboro and the second race at Michigan. Back with him to North Wilkesboro next on the tour for the Holly Farms 400. Next up on the tour, next row down, we'll have Cole Beaver, the GM Gimmer Chevrolet, car number 3. He's got one of our in-car cameras in today's event. He'll be alongside Michael Whitman in the Strolight Ford, car number 6. Next row down has Cab Shearer, number 71. He has our second in-car camera in the Buckstove Oldsmobile, and beside him will be Cat Tellier, third in points coming into this race in his Eric Santa Fe Ford, car number 7. Next row down has Keith Batson, 2-time winner of the season in the Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 20. He won the season at the first Michigan race, and he also won at the road course at Sonoma. He'll be alongside Dover winner Patrick Smith, the winner at Dover, the first race at Dover, the Miller American Buick, car number 8. Then it's Dylan Poteet, number 22, the Miller High Life Buick, and he'll be alongside Joshua Collard, his buddy, in the STP Pontiac car number 43. He'll be in that car next season. Next row down, we'll have number 16, Jordan Lopez, in the Halpern Chevrolet car number 16, and Johnny Gardner, the Folgers Decaf Chevrolet car number 35. Next row down has Jonathan Zorley in number 88, the Gatorade Buick, and he'll be alongside Becca Tellier in car number 21, the Hodgson Ford. She's a 3-time winner so far this season. Next row down, we'll have Zachary Fitzwater in 33, the Skull Bandit Buick, the winner this season of the 600 at Charlotte. And he'll be alongside Jesse Turner, number 13, the CTE Ford. Next row down, we'll have the Daytona 500 champion, Emmanuel Hart, in the 83 wins Kmart Oldsmobile. And Paul Meg, the winner of the second Atlanta race on the season, the Piedmont Airlines Chevrolet, car number 44. He is 7th in the place standings coming in. Next row down, going for the Martinsville sweep, Joshua Osborne, number 25, the Folgers Chevrolet. His letter win came this season at Watkins Glen on the third road course race of the season, and he'll be alongside Ryan Winters, number 90, the Red Baron Frozen Pizza Ford. Next row down, we'll have car 14, Tony Newman, in the Copenhagen Oldsmobile car number 14, and Zach Winkle, number 11, the Budweiser Chevrolet. He was on the pole the last race on the tour at Talladega. Next row down, we'll have Jessica Shelton, the championship leader, car number 9, the Coors Melling Ford, 5-time winner so far this season. And she starts way back in the back. By the way, she has a 178-point lead on Charles Sanford coming into this race. Sitting next to her will be the number 12 Budweiser Chevrolet of Brian Gazee. Next row we'll have number 75, the Valvoline Pontiac of Max Anderson. Beside him, the winner of that thriller at Talladega, the last race on the tour, Joshua Sakuli, who got Jessica Shelton on the last lap, on the last few hundred feet of the line. He's in the Race Hill Farms Buick, car number 47. Next row down, we'll have Zed Weinstein, number 70, the Rumble Furniture AC Spark Plugs Pontiac. And alongside of him will be Jason Haywood, the Brickyard 400 champion, the Motorcraft Ford, car number 15. Next row down, we'll have Alex in a row, number 51, the Valvoline Oldsmobile, and Trent Dunham, number 1, the Bullseye Riverview South Chevrolet. And here comes the command to fire the engines here at Martinsville.
3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Command given to fire the engines. We're just have racing here today. Last 2 rows, we'll have Chelsea Bolson, the Nelson Contract and Superior Piping Chevrolet car number 74. Beside her will be Ashlyn Boyd, number 51, and number 55, the Copenhagen Chevrolet two-time winner season, including the Pepsi 400. And the last two starters will be Quentin Moore in car 26 of Quaker State Buick, and car number 42 of Mike Becker, the STP Buick. He is the winner of the first race at Talladega this season. So, getting set for a green flag racing here on this 75 lap race here. Charles Sabre, if he hopes to gain some points on Jessica Shelton, he better start doing it right now because Shelton is starting to pull away. She has a 178-point lead coming into this race at Martinsville, and Sabre looks like on a pretty good spot as of the moment here as the green flag waves were underway here at Martinsville. Sanford gets pushed up to the high side. Here comes another yellow car. Phil Parker to the inside. And number 5, as he moves inside of Sanford, are going to be side by side through the third and fourth turns now. And off the fourth corner, who leads the first lap? It's going to be, I think, Parker. No, Charles Sanford leads the first lap of the race here at Martinsville, but Parker gets the fight to the inside lane, and he'll take position away. So Phil Parker, looking for that first win of his career in the GTX Cup Series, is hanging tough on the inside lane there. We've had several first-time winners this season. The last one being, believe it or not, I think the last one was Paul Minnick back in Atlanta a couple of races ago. And we also had a first-time winner in Patrick Smith and also a first-time winner in Ashlyn Boyd as well. And Charles Sabre tried to use the bumper on Phil Parker, but that didn't work, and Parker keeps the lead. Kyle Langley now going for second position in the 27 machine. The Kodiak Pontiac as they go in the first turn now. Seth Cole, who has our third in-car camera in today's event, along with Kev Shear and Cole Devers. You're riding with Seth Cole right now. He was in fourth position. Seth, the winner this season at the couple races back at Charlotte in the Mello Yellow 500. And he had a really good run at this track back in the first stop here when he finished the race in third position. Running behind his buddy Charles Sanford and running just ahead of Ryan George in 17. It's one of Kev Shear's friends who's driving that Tide machine, the old 1987 Darrell Waltrip colors. As they come up the second turn, George runs in fifth position right now. William Brock running in sixth. Dylan Young in seventh position. Eighth is Cole Deaver. Michael Whitman in ninth, and Kyle Matthews running in 10th position right now. As you ride with Cole Deaver in number 3. And remember, Deaver suffered a nasty flip at Talladega, the last race on the tour, but he is coming back here feeling determined in these last races to try to get a win. Deaver rides in 8th position right now, giving that Dale Earnhardt ride a pretty good run. Deaver comes into this race 22nd in the standings. He dropped back 5 spots after Talladega. And he does have this ride again next season in the GM Goodrich machine. Michael Whitman running in 9th position. 10th position is Matthews. 11th is Patrick Smith. Kev Shear making a good move here toward the front as he's now alongside the California winner Cat Tellier in the 7 machine. Shear running in 12th position. That was 12th he just took on Tellier, and he gives Cat just a little bit of a side bump as they come down into turn number 3. And watching all this from his point of view is Keith Batson, who's now in a battle with Joshua Collard in the Richard Petty colors. Got the Richard Petty colors against the Davey Allison colors right there, 43 and 28. As they come off the second turn, Batson up the high side here, and Collard goes by. And Batson now looking for the crossover move, and a great move by Keith Batson. Off the turn, Batson keeps position for now. Whoa! Some good racing here going on right now at Martinsville. Johnny Gardner runs in 16th position. 17th is Dylan Poteet. 18th right now is Zachary Fitzwater in 33. And Fitzwater moves Poteet up the track. And here comes Jordan Lopez and Jonathan Zorlin, 16 and 88, as they are side by side. That is for 19th and 20th. And Joshua Osborne gets moved up the track now by Jesse Turner. And Cole Deaver's got problems in that 3 car. Oh, David, don't move at the track. Oof. Oh, man. Cole Deaver. I swear to goodness, when it rains, it pours for Cole Deaver. He has had everything going wrong so far this season. And it looks like a unscheduled pit stop for the Cole Deaver machine in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, and it was 35 miles an hour down pit road. That is a killer for Cole Deaver, and he has already gone a lap down. And in fact, the yellow flag, I'm sure, has already flown. So the yellow flag flies for the first time on the 14th lap of this race here at Martinsville. And it involved Jason Haywood in the 15 car that spun. And and this is out toward last place, as a matter of fact. Mike Becker gets turned by Joshua Sakuli in the 47, and now Haywood goes into a spin. So Haywood puts her in gear and drives away and stays on the lead lap, as a matter of fact, thankfully for him. And oh, and apparently we got a new leader. Something may have gone wrong with the 5 of Phil Parker, I think. Oh yeah, he and Ryan George and Dylan Young all on pit road right now. I do not know what the heck's wrong with that car. On Kyle Langland's coming in now. He was to have been the leader. So who's the leader right now? I'm thinking it's going to be Charles Sanford, I think. Yes, it is going to be Charles Sanford, number 30. On a tough break for Phil Parker, who had led for the first few laps of the race there, and looked like he might have had a shot at, and he had high hopes of this, possibly getting a victory here, his first one of the season of his career in this race, and it was a camshaft problem that unfortunately knocked Cole Deaver out while running in the top 10 in this race. And Zed Weinstein had problems, and he's also out of the race, and for some inexplicable reason. Lights are out on the pace car right now. I'll give you the field rundown. I'll give you the top 10 rundown. Charles Stanford leads the race. Second position is Seth Cole. Third right now is William Brock in number 40. He's moved his way through the field nicely. Kyle Matthews in the 4th position. 5th is Patrick Smith. 6th is Michael Whitman. And apparently they're playing a little bumper tag here under yellow. Cat Tellier is 7th. 8th is Joshua Collard. 9th position right now belonging to Keith Batson. And Johnny Gardner runs in 10th position. So all the problems that's been going on under cautions given Charles Sanford the lead as the green flag race. And whoa, Seth Cole was ready on that race. Ready on the restart. But unfortunately for him, Kev Shearer got in the way in the 71 car, and Seth decides to fall back in behind Sanford at the moment. And Charles gets a very good start. And I thought I heard tires screeching here. Nope, pace car's lights are not on. We're not under yellow, so we're still green here. And here comes William Brock in the 4 to the inside lane. And he'll take second from Seth Cole. Kev Shearer, by the way, is a lap down in 38th position. So that's another guy who's not having as good a season as he had hoped for in the Dave Marcus special. Riding on board Seth Cole's machine as William Brock's going by, and now you see on the rearview mirror Kyle Matthews trying to make a move in the 29 car. Seth Cole, by the way, coming into this race 4th place in the standings. He had won, as we said, at Charlotte in the Meliella 500. And William Brock not giving an inch there for that second position here as he and Seth Cole is still going side by side. Matthews now joining in on the fun right now in the 29 car. 2 Oldsmobiles in the Chevrolet, all 3 1987 models. Oh, Seth decided to give William just a little bit of a bumper here, but Matthews has a bite to the inside lane now, going for that. That's going for 3rd place here for the 29 car, and Cat Tellier meanwhile moves up Patrick Smith in 8, and Tellier is going to take, I think it's going to be 5th or 6th spot, I think. And she is going to bring Joshua Collard with her as they come down off turn number 4. Collard decides to stay in line, and he'll fall back behind Smith for the moment. And Tellier will take 5th right now in the 7 car, and Smith up the high side now going backwards in the 43 as the 43 and the 6 trying to go by him. And another guy making a strong bid, Zachary Fitzwater, 33. He's moving his way through the field nicely now. He's up to the 9th position in the Harry Gant colors as he is looking pretty strong as we're still in the early stages of the event. As we're halfway home, actually it's going to be 38 in the books. And he's getting a little bit of a bumper massage from the 28 of Keith Batson. Batson now dropping the 10th position in the Texaco Haviland colors. Through the first and second turns they go, and something wrong with the Dylan Poteet car. He was running in 11th position. On bad problems for the Miller High Life team as Poteet was running. Poteet came in this race 6th place in the standings coming in, and he is transferred on the pit road, and that will cause a yellow flag to fly. Because of that very reason, Poteet stopped on the racetrack. So, didn't need to go back to replay on that one, and it was a header problem that knocked Dylan Poteet out, but for all intents and purposes, really an engine failure for the number 22 Miller High Life Buick, and that's going to drop him back in the points. He was 6th place in the standings coming into this race behind Dylan Young in a hot contested battle for 5th place in the standings. Main time, green flag back out. Charles Sanford still out in front. 2nd place is still William Brock. Make that Kyle Matthews now in the 2nd position now in the 29 car, as he'll move into 2nd place, and as Seth Cole and going to try to follow his buddy Kyle Matthews. William Brock showing some strength, showing some muscle on the outside in that Kodak Dale Oldsmobile. That's 2nd and 3rd on the screen right there, the 29 and the 4. And Seth Colby enjoying this mix, as well as Cat Tellier and the 43 of Joshua Collard. 2 Oldsmobiles, a Chevrolet, a Pontiac, 2 Oldsmobiles, a Chevrolet, a Ford, and a Pontiac in that mix. And Brock pulls off a crossover now in Matthews as they come down to turn number 1 now, and he'll take 2nd place back from Kyle Matthews as they come off through the 1st and 2nd turns. But the meter 1 giving an inch. But the problem, of course, you run side by side like that is that you lose ground to the leader. And guess what? To make matters worse for Brock and Matthews both, Cab Shearer is behind Charles Sanford, and he's a lap down in 36th. So you're battling. You want to get up there for the win, though. You don't want a lap car in there, and that's what Brock or Matthews is going to be facing if one heeds to another. Meantime, it is Charles Sanford leading the race here in the Country Time Pontiac number 30. He is open with a rather substantial lead now on Kyle Matthews now, who's now finally, I think, gotten by William Brock. Yes, he's finally gotten by him now. And Kat Tellier, meantime, got around Seth Cole, and she's going to try for a 3rd position now on William Brock and see if she can shake him off as quick. And she, in fact, will do so in the 7 car. Brock up the racetrack here, and now he falls in the clutches of Joshua Collard in 43. So Kat Tellier comes in this race 3rd in the standings, is now running 3rd at the moment. Kyle Matthews, meanwhile, almost dropped out of the top 10 because of a bad run at Talladega. He is 10th in the standings coming in, and he hopes to find himself back up and to solidify himself a spot in the top 10 in the points chase. So halfway home right now, 38 in the books and 37 to go here at Martinsville. That's the 5th place car. That's Joshua Collard. Patrick Smith is in 6th. Seth Cole in 7th. 8 is Zachary Fitzwater. He's gotten around Michael Whitman, who now loses a spot to Keith Batson for 9th. As a pair of Fords battle behind Fitzwater's Buick. And we got a problem here. Somebody spun as Patrick Smith at number 8 who has spun. And several cars dodging the 8 machine. Smith comes across the line in 24th position. And he's now... Okay, what is he doing? He's above the curbing of the track. 3 wide between Phil Parker, and Ryan George. And Ryan Winters in the 90 coming down pit road. So, third caution flag of the day flies on lap number 39, and he gets up. And Patrick Smith is going to have some words with Seth Cole over this little maneuver as they come out the 4th corner. Again, just like we see so often off that turn. One can't stand that he's running behind him as much, and there you see the end results. Patrick Smith gets spun by Seth Cole, and there's why Ryan Winters is on pit road. Winters got the piece of the 8 machine. Several cars trying to play duck and run. Whoo, close right there by, what was that, Emmanuel Hart, and almost sideswiped the 8. So Smith drops to 23rd position. He was running in I think 6th position when all that translated. Mike Becker coming on pit road, as well as a 75 of car of Max Anderson, and Johnny Gardner trying to hurry around. And apparently Johnny Gardner stayed on the lead lap. Last time he was caught a lap down, so he does get the wave around, looks like. Gardner right now running in 33rd position in the Folgers car. There's Mike Becker coming off pit road in the STP Buick. 34th position is for the man's running. He is the man who won the first stop we had at Talladega. And Quentin Moore bumps into Joshua Sakuli in the 47, and he gets rear-ended by the 74 of Chelsea Bowl. So a lot of hanky-panky going on the field, and Jessica Shelton's out of the race. Out of the race in the 37 position. She had a mechanical problem, looks like. So Shelton fell out of the race in the number 9 car, and that's going to cost her a lot in the points right there. So mechanical failure nails Shelton in the 9, and the engine failure on the 13 of Jesse Turner as well. Well, we said a lot can happen in those last 5 races of the season, and Shelton stands to lose a lot of ground now on Charles Sanford, who meantime stands a chance of losing the lead now to Kyle Matthews because he cannot shake off Keb Shear in a 71 car. Matthews decides to go with Shear in a 71. He goes inside of Sanford. Sanford says, nuh-uh. Trent Dunham, meanwhile, comes off pit road right beside Matthews. So Keb Shear, for the moment, is back on the lead lap in the 30th position now. Is up ahead of him is Becca Tellier in 21. She's in 29th. And now Matthews up on the high side as he's trying to get around Trent Dunham. Through turns 1 and 2 they go here. Johnny Gardner, a lap car as well, in 32nd position. Kat Tellier's the one running in 3rd spot right now in the 7. And she'll dive inside of Gardner, and she'll hope to dive underneath Matthews with using the lap car as a pick. Max Anderson also lap down in 34th. Mike Becker lap down in 33rd position. William Brock is actually the one running in 4th position. Make that Keith Batson possibly running in 4th. As he is going to try to move the 42 right out of the way. And yes, Becker is moved out of the way by Batson. And Phil Parker almost nailed the back of Becker's car. So Mike Becker gets turned by Keith Batson on the 4th turn to cause the yellow flag to fly for the 4th time today here at Martinsville on lap number 49. Same thing we see about every other time they come up the fourth turn, and unfortunately for Bassini, it cost him a lot of positions doing that. Sometimes spinning a driver out is not worth it, so Becker, meanwhile, runs in the 33rd position, so that's gonna. And as for Keith Bassini, he dropped down the 10th spot because of that. So 3 lap cars on the inside lane right now, and cars out of the race so far: Jesse Turner, Ryan Winters, Dylan Poteet, Zed Weinstein, Cole Deaver, and the big one, Jessica Shelton, the points leader. A mechanical problem that nailed her right out of the race in a number 9 car that's going to finish her 37th in the race. And she stands to lose, like I said, lose a lot of ground to the leader now. Charles Samer, but oh, Matthews was right there. Matthews dives to the inside as Charles Samer going to turn number 1, and Samer goes around and he spins. And problems right there behind. Ryan Kazis crashed. Sakuli's in it, as well as Patrick Smith in the 8. Well, they got 3 wide come up, and oh, we got another spinner. I think that was Dylan Young in the 2 that spun, along with Zach Winkle in the 11. And it was Winkle and Dylan Young. And I think that problem that happened between Matthews and Sanford manifested itself into something else. Yeah, Matthews got a good run on Charles Sanford, and that's what happened right there. Turns the 30 right around that restart here as they go to turn number 1. As I said, sometimes you bump another driver there. That's gonna, and sometimes it's not worth it. And Sanford goes right into the wall at this point right there. Now watch what happens up behind right there. Several cars trying to dodge the 30 machine. And Sanford tries to get his car to start back up. But Ryan Winters in the 12 car, or Ryan Casillas should say in the 12 car, he got turned into by the 8 of Patrick Smith. And it looks like stuffed him and Emmanuel Hartnett, and I think, yeah, stuffed Hartnett and Smith both in the wall. Meantime, the 2 of Dylan Young, he flies by all this, goes into the grass to try to pass the 55 of Ashlyn Boyd, who moves up the track almost into Hartnett, but then Young goes up the track against Ashlyn Boyd, tries to turn him instead. Young turns himself. And Zach Winkle right into the 2. Nowhere to go for him, unfortunately. And also, unfortunately, nowhere to go for Chelsea Bowles in the 74 and the 15 and Jason Haywood. It's just like I said before here a minute ago, ladies and gentlemen. Just like sometimes one problem can manifest itself into something else. And we've seen that a lot on the short tracks this season. Not just at Martinsville, but also at Richmond and at Bristol as well. Interesting to see what happens at North Wilkesboro if that's the case. And a new leader by way in all this, Joshua Collard is taking the lead in the 43 car. As Zach Winkle in the 11 has fell out of the race. Has fell out of the race as well. So he will finish in 34th position. The STP cars will line up right together. Mike Becker's a lap down in the 32nd position. And we should see the 75 of Max Anderson right there behind him as well, because he also is now a lap down in this race. But it's Collard in the lead. Matthews is in 2nd position. 3rd is Kat Tellier. 4th right now is William Brock matching his car number. Seth Cullen 5th. 6th is Zachary Fitzwater. 7th is Jordan Lopez. 8th is Michael Whitman. 9th is Jonathan Zorlin. And Joshua Osborne runs in 10th position as the green flag waves are back underway. Joshua Collard has not won in two, maybe even 3 seasons in this series. So this would be a huge win for Collard if he pulls it off. He's got 12 laps to hold them all off at Martinsville this time by. And look at Collard driving that Richard Petty car off in the sunset here at Martinsville Speedway as Matthews is now second position. And trying to shake off the lap car of the 42 of Mike Becker, as Matthews is on the outside of him. Becker on the inside. Matthews, well, he thought he had Becker cleared, and then Becker has got the shove in the 7 of Cat Tellier. Now Matthews is going to try to... He has Mike Becker cleared right now, so he's going to try to pursue Joshua Collard in the 43 car as Keith Batson, who was in the top 10 for much of this race, and he's now on... As he's now had problems as well in the 28 machine. He was in the top 10 for much of this event. And now Betsy decides to go toe-to-toe with Collard, and somebody spins off the 4th turn. And it was the 4 of William Brock that spun. William Brock, who was running in 6th position, has spun coming off the 4th on the front stretch. And, with less than 10 to go, Joshua Collard did not want to see that yellow flag fly. And it was he and Zachary Fitzwater that got together. Let's see what happened off the front. No, Mike Becker actually spun off on the front stretch. And he got turned by the 7 car of Cat Tellier as she turns Becker into the inside wall. He goes back up the track, and then Fitzwater, bam, right into him and poor William Brock, nowhere to go in that 4 car. Jordan Lopez in 16. Those two were having an excellent run happening up to that point. And oh my gosh. Yeah, Emmanuel Hartnett in the 83 plows right into the 4 car. Although not quite Stephen Pollard style, but so this happening on lap number 66 here at Martinsville Speedway as the 5th caution flag of the day flies. And Zachary Fitzwater is still actually running in 12th position, but he was running in top 10 when all this was going on. And we got some surprises now in the top 10 at the moment. So the green flag will be flying on with 4 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Mike Becker and Emmanuel Hartnett and Patrick Smith, the latest cars out of the race. 4 to go, and the green flag falls. Will it be Joshua Collard or Kyle Matthews in victory lane? We'll find out who. As the green flag waves, and Collard got the restart he wanted. Matthews for 2nd position right now. In the 3rd now goes Cat Tellier. She's in the battle with Seth Cole for 3rd position now. Does Kyle Matthews have anything for Joshua Collard, who has not won, I believe, since either season 14 or season 15 when he last won in the Castrol GTX Cup Series? It's been a long time for the King Richard Petty colors as now Collard comes off the 2nd turn. And this will be a big win for him. Collard comes in this race actually... Let's see, Collard actually came into this race 29th in the standings. Coming into this race as he's now got 2 laps away from victory. It'll be his first ever, I believe, at Martinsville in this series as he's here as Collard driving the 1987 Pontiac. Rounds off the 2nd turn. Kyle Matthews trying to make one last charge. And out of the 4th corner they come. The white flag waves over Joshua Collard, the King Richard Petty colors. Rounds through turns 1 and 2 for the last time here today. In the Tums Fast Relief 500, Matthews trying to close in just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough here as they come off the 4th turn. The STP Pontiac is back in victory lane. Joshua Collard wins the Tums Fast Relief 500 at Martinsville. A very impressive victory by the 43 machine. Collard back in victory lane. The man from the jelly old UK pulls it off here today. I did the worst British accent, but okay. Anyway, Kyle Matthews comes home in second position. A much needed run for him. Seth Cole finished third. Cat Tellier fourth. Fifth place will go to Jordan Lopez. Going sixth position will be Charles Sanford. He needed that. With Jessica Shelton out of the race, he needed that run here today. Michael Whitman comes home seventh. Eighth position will go to Jonathan Zorlin. Joshua Osborne, we haven't talked about him at all today, comes home in ninth. And a great recovery for Zachary Fitzwater goes from a spin to finish in 10th position. So 32 races are in the books in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. We gave you the top 10 already. Average speed 63.9 miles an hour, just to tick under 64 miles per hour. Rest of the finishers, Paul Bennett, another solid run, finishing in 11th position. Tony Newman, who came in this race dead last in the standings, comes from in 12th. 13th will go to Kyle Langland. 14th to Ryan George. Ashlyn Boyd 15th. Becca Tellier 16th. 17th will go to Kev Shearer. A great recovery for him. Quentin Moore comes home in 18th position. A great run for the 26 team. Alexander Rhodes comes home in 19th. And Chelsea Bowles will finish in 20th position. Jason Haywood 21st. Joshua Sakuli comes home 22nd. 23rd, Trent Dunham. And 24th, the last car only lap will be William Brock in the number 4 car. And a tough break for William Brock. He had a great top 10 run going on until the late race spin happened for the Morgan McClure number 4 Oldsmobile. Rest of the finishing order, last of the race finishers was Max Anderson, Phil Parker, Dylan Young, Ryan Kazee, Johnny Gardner, and Keith Batson in 30th position. And a tough break for Phil Parker as well. He had led for much of the early part of the race here, and he looked like he had a shot at his first ever win. But some unexplained problems in the caution flag kept him from being in contention. Cars out of the race here: Mike Becker, Emmanuel Hartnett, Patrick Smith, Zach Winkle, Jesse Turner, Ryan Winters, and a big one on the list, Jessica Shelton, the points leader, with mechanical problems, falls out of the race in the number 9 Coors Milling car. She ends up 37th, with Charles Stanford finishing, I believe, in 6th place. That's going to cost her a lot of points coming out of Martinsville. And unusual for her, because she usually does well in Martinsville. I will say that too. Dylan Poteet, 38th, Zed Weinstein, 39th, and Cole Deaver, some bad luck for him. He ends up in 40th position after having a good top 10 run going on. And Cole is actually optimistic about a good run here today at Martinsville, but alas, it just didn't happen. So all that results in a surprise winner. Joshua Collard, for the first time in about 3 seasons, wins a race in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, as he is one of the big names in NR competition. As the man from the jolly old British UK wins here today in the Tums Fast Relief 500. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We have everything on this channel here. We have everything on this channel in our races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's Tex Slayer Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. Be sure to check those races out as well. You will not regret it. They're some of the best series in NR competition. They're some of the best offline series NR has to offer. And so we say bye-bye from Martinsville Speedway as we head to the last short track race on the season at North Wilkesboro Speedway for the running of the Holly Farms 400. As we're down to the final 4 races of the season, they'll go to North Wilkesboro, then Rockingham for the AC Delco 400, then Phoenix for the Subway Fresh Fit 500, and then the finale for the Ford EcoBoost 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. Should be some great racing here. And we'll see how the championship shakes out. So we still will see you at North Wilkesboro. For now, this is James Qualls, in the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.